Well, this view makes me very happy to walk into. I've got my beautiful engagement flowers, pride of place on the kitchen island. Got my little Highland coo, look how cute he is looking. We've got all of the engagement cards up here, and we have a little bit of sunshine today. Look at the blue skies. Oh my goodness me, it's always my favorite thing to look up through the Velux windows and see a little bit of blue sky poking out there. Hello, spring sunshine. Honestly, just look at that sunshine. It is just putting me in the best mood. But good morning properly, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another beautiful sunshine day. It's a little bit blustery today, so I feel like the sunshine is going in and out at the moment behind the clouds. But you know what? We don't mind that, because the second it comes out, we all just get our spirits completely lifted. And I feel like this week it is starting to feel like spring is officially upon us. Like I'm wearing my gorgeous spring dresses and I really am starting to see signs of spring everywhere. Like the blossoms are blossoming, the wisteria in our garden is looking like it's beginning to bud. Our big blue tree looks like it's going to bloom any minute now, and it's just putting me in the best mood. Although I do feel like this year is probably the latest we've ever seen the spring kind of like motions with regards to nature. Normally we see blossoms like mid-March, we normally see wisteria beginning of April. Obviously it's all been pushed back so much. We're not even seeing the blossoms till the end of April. I reckon the wisteria won't be till maybe like mid-May. It really has been just a waiting game. I feel like we've just been waiting and waiting and waiting for spring to be officially upon us, and it feels like it is finally upon us, which really excites me. And if I'm seeing nature on the outside, I am wanting to see nature on the inside. And you know how much I adore reflecting what's around me within my home. Like I am so inspired by the seasons. I love the seasonalities that we have here in the UK. Like it's one of my favorite things about living in the UK. We have such a like specific winter. Like, you know, winter is winter, spring is spring, summer is summer, and autumn is autumn. And they just inspire me so much to like change up my mood, change up my clothes, change up my vibe, and also change up my home. So one of the things that we did do the weekend just gone is get all of the garden furniture out, give it a big hose down and a big clean so that we can start to enjoy it being out in the garden again. You guys know I just want the garden to be our sanctuary this year. I'm working so hard with regards to the gardening, with my veg, my flower pots, and I just want to also reflect that in our furniture, because I love sitting outside and having a coffee, doing my work, like doing Zoom calls underneath a parasol, sitting outdoors, and it just makes me so happy. And I also love being able to bring that in and bring in the spring mood into my home. And one of the ways that I do that, which I have right here, that I picked up the other day, is by my scents. I always love reflecting the kind of like home fragrances that we have with nature, and just making sure that it's really seasonal. Like obviously in winter, you know I love my winter scents. My spices, I love in autumn like pumpkin spice. Spring, summer, I like them to be a lot fresher, a lot kind of like, I don't know, just really reflective of the season. So I picked up a couple of new bits to put around the house, and I'm so excited to get these out, because I love it when I put a new diffuser out. I'm that person that I definitely don't smell my smells after a while, so I like switching them up. Like my perfumes I like to switch up, and my home fragrances, so my reed diffusers, I always love it whenever I put a new one out, because I feel like I just can smell it again. So the first one I picked up is fresh grapefruit. This is grapefruit, jasmine and orange flower, and this is one of those, as it says on the tin, fragrances. It is so fresh and a little bit fruity, which I really like. I think this might make a really lovely one for the kitchen, so that you just walk in and you get that like gorgeous fresh scent. So really excited to put that out. And then we also have wild blackberry, which is another one that I absolutely adore. This one is maybe a little bit richer. I think this one might go really well at Alex's office. He also loves his home fragrances, and whenever a reed diffuser starts to run out, he comes to me like, can I have more smellies please? So I think I might put that in his office, because it's like a little bit richer, a little bit deeper, perfect for like that very masculine office that he has got going on. And then finally I picked up a new candle. Like one of my favorite things about the White Company is their candles. I actually have one right behind you right here. This is the last one that I have been using up the remains of. This is pomegranate, and it is huge, absolutely huge. This is a 3-wick candle, and I absolutely adore it because it just fills the room with so much fragrance. Like, you know, when you've cooked like a bit of a smelly meal, the second anything like doesn't smell how I want it to. This is what I liked, and it just fills the room. I love it. I also love it when you have guests come around and they're like, oh, that's a lovely smell, and you've got your candles burning, and it just feels really, really lovely. So I wanted to pick up a summer candle that I can have burning. I quite like putting it actually on the kitchen table, and then it's kind of like right by the doors, and it just really, really fills the room. So I picked up fresh grapefruit in the candle as well. It's not quite as big as this one. It's like one size smaller, but it still is a really, really good size with regards to a long burn time. Like that one I've literally been burning since January, and I burn it at least 2-3 times a night for a couple of hours, so they do last a really, really long time. So this should pretty much last me throughout the rest of spring, maybe even into the beginning of summer. So it's just so lovely to have those fragrances out and start getting my home smelling like spring. I also picked up a leaflet when I was at the White Company because I just absolutely adore their interiors. Like I just find them so inspiring. I love seeing like how they're designing their rooms, how they're styling things up, and it's just so, so lovely to see what's coming in, what's new, what I can look out for, because you guys know my favorite books in the world are the White Company books. Let me show you one of them. I think this... Trying not to knock over the reed diffuser. Is this a newer one? I can't remember. No, this is the first one. This is the original, and then this is the newer one, but they always just have so much inspiration in them. Like, look at that. Honestly, I feel like I can just flick to any page and be completely inspired with their decor, what they're doing, like how they're styling it. I absolutely love it. I take so much inspiration from these books, so it's really nice just to sometimes have a little bit of a sit down. I actually think the first morning that I have my morning coffee outside, I might take one of these books, enjoy my morning coffee, being outside in the sunshine and just soaking up the fact that we are officially in spring. So, I have something that I have been meaning to show you for such a long time, and I literally just have not got around to it. They have kind of just been a little bit obsolete because of the weather recently, and I was expecting to use them a lot sooner because I can tell you for sure we were definitely sitting outside this time last year, but hopefully this weekend might be the first weekend we will be actually able to use them. So I did a little bit of shopping on Zara Home, and I actually picked these up ages ago, like literally maybe even 6 weeks ago, something like that, and I got these in the sale, so unfortunately I don't think they'll be available anymore. I just wanted to snap them up because I was so excited about them. They are these gorgeous outdoor cushions. Now when it comes to outside, I'm just gonna kneel down for a second. When it comes to outdoors, I am very much a color scheme kind of a person. Like I love having a color scheme around the house, and I love every room having like its own identity. So obviously Alex's office is very much like these dark blues, dark browns, and I really love that like masculine vibe in there. Up in my office, it's very much those like more natural tones. We've got some pinky hues, very like warm beiges. In here, it's kind of like cool beiges, greys, browns, and I really like that. A little bit of blue kind of running in this room as well. And in the garden, I'm wanting green. I think green, white, and maybe like pops of yellow, like I've got my lemon jug and things like that. I think that will work really well. So I saw these pillows and just fell in love. They're like these outdoor cushions, and they are just so gorgeous. I'm not entirely sure how durable they are because the feel of them just feels like normal cushions, so I think we might have to be a little bit careful with them, but I just loved the kind of design on them. I loved this like double stripe detail. I loved the green velvet for the ties, and I just love the fact that it's this like off-white kind of like warm biscuit beigey colour. So I picked up 4 of those. We've got these for like back cushions, and then these are the actual chair cushions, so they're quite a lot bigger. Now I picked up 4. I'm not entirely sure if I am actually going to need 4, so I might see if I can sell the other 2 because it's definitely been far too long to be able to return them. But it was difficult because I bought these in the sale. I wanted to snap them up because I didn't want them to go out of stock, but we didn't get the furniture out, so I couldn't like try it and test it on the furniture, and it doesn't fit our smaller chairs. It only fits our bigger chairs. So it's going to be a bit of a trial and error with regards to what we do with the other 2, whether we just keep them just for keeping them sake. I mean, you never know, you can always use them like on the floor if you've got people coming around as like cushions for picnics and things like that. So I'm not entirely sure, but I just fell in love with them, and this kind of like green thing is definitely going to be my main focus with regards to colour scheme out in the garden. And I know green outdoors in the garden, groundbreaking, but you know what, I love it, so I'm gonna go with it. Oh my goodness me, I've just had a very, very exciting delivery arrive that I wanted to unbox with you. Now, speaking of being in the garden, gardening and all of that jazz, you guys know what I'm like. I love to have my gardening dresses, like my gardening outfits. Obviously, this is a dress I would not wear in the garden. It's a really gorgeous Bowden cotton number. Well, I'd wear this if I was just chilling in the garden having coffees. This wouldn't be like a gardening dress. And I love having gardening dresses. It's something I've always been brought up with. My mum would always wear like the prettiest dresses whenever she was out gardening, and I just always felt so inspired. But one thing that I feel like I've been wanting to upgrade is my gardening shoes. Currently I just have a pair of Crocs sitting by the back door, and they're very practical, they're very handy, but obviously they're not aesthetic. And Alex and I aren't too particular in the sense that we will happily go in and out of the garden in our shoes. Like, I feel like some people have like a very strict no shoes in the house rule. Like, obviously we wouldn't, you know, sit on the sofa with them or anything like that, but especially if you're just going to and from, you're grabbing yourself a drink or something like that. I think because we've got wooden floors in the kitchen, it's quite easy just to like walk about in them, and I'm very on it when it comes to hoovering and like, you know, mopping up the floors. So I've been wanting to get a gorgeous pair of gardening shoes basically, and I saw these on Fairfax and Favour and fell in love. So I was like, I just have to order them and see if I can create like a bit more of a kind of garden shoe. I just love the Fairfax and Favour packaging. It always comes looking so beautiful. I mean, is this not just the most beautiful packaging ever? And I love the fact that you don't have to lift the lid. It's just like a little pull out to get to their shoes. Oh, they both come in dust bags. I love that. I always keep their dust bags, and oh my word, these are just absolutely stunning. They look big. They are a 37 apparently, but they look really big. I'm gonna have to give these a try, but look at how gorgeous these are. So they're a gorgeous pair of like a tan suede mule, and of course they've got the classic Fairfax and Favour logo on there. I really love it. I've got the belt that's got this on, and I always get so many compliments whenever I wear them, but I just thought these were so gorgeous. Love the fact that there's not like a back to them, so you can literally just keep them by the back door, slip them on and off, and because they're a bit more of like a darker colour, I mean, I know they're suede, but I will spray them with my sprayed protector and make sure that they are, you know, well protected and they've kind of got like the best chance of not being ruined. But because they're like this darker suede, I think they are just going to be so beautiful. You'll be able to slip those on by the back door, and they are just a gorgeous pair of gardening shoes. So I'm so excited to have these. Oh my word, they're absolutely stunning. I think I maybe need one in every colour. Oh, they're just so gorgeous. I am so in love with these. Look at them. I was worried they were going to be slightly big, but actually they are the perfect size. If you can see, my foot just has like a little bit of room at the back there, which is so fab, and they slip on so beautifully. Like literally you don't have to worry about any back, just slip them on straight and then go out into the garden, and they are beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Oh, I think I need the black. I think they also came in like a taupey colour, like a kind of creamy white, which also might be beautiful, but they are just so stunning. They're like the most elegant pair of mules I think I've ever tried on. They're actually super comfy. I've tried mules in the past and not really gotten on with them, but I love the fact that these are a bit of a wide fit, so they're super comfy. The fact that they're the suede means that they're very like durable. Like I don't feel like they're ever going to rub on me, and obviously the open back is just iconic, absolutely iconic. So I'm so happy with these. I think they are just going to be the perfect pair of at-home gardening shoes. I mean, I may even wear these out, but for now I think I'm just going to keep them by the back door, and then I can slip them on and off whenever I need to go out into the garden. Good morning everyone, it is another beautiful sunny day down here in Hampshire. I am in an excellent mood this morning. I've got my morning coffee, although it's quite funny, I've run out of coffee capsules and the only ones that I had in the cupboard are pumpkin spice, which I had left over from autumn of last year. So this is very it's a very autumnal coffee this morning, so I definitely need to go out and get some more Nespresso capsules so that I don't have to steal any of Alex's or go through my pumpkin, because I will be very upset if by the time September rolls around and there is no more pumpkin spice, because it's a limited edition that Nespresso did, and I don't know if they're planning on doing it for autumn this year as well. Fingers crossed they are, but enough about autumn, because it is spring. We don't really want to be talking about autumn just yet, and it feels really weird to be drinking an autumnal coffee in April. But I have the prettiest little spring dress on today. It's this really, really gorgeous new look number. I'm trying to wean myself away from just wearing white because I know I mentioned this in a past video, but ever since getting engaged, all I want to wear is white at the moment. I just want to feel really like bridal and regal, and I just want to thank you guys as well for all of your lovely like advice and well wishes and all of like the wisdom you've been imparting on us, because obviously we are brand new. I was gonna say newlyweds, but we're not newlyweds, nearly weds, I guess. Brand new fiancés, brand new engaged couple. And so it's so lovely to have you guys with all of like your wisdom and knowledge and being able to like share that with us. And basically the biggest piece of advice that everyone is giving is just soak up every moment because it goes so, so quickly. And I know I already spoke about the fact that we're definitely not gonna be getting married this year or next year. We're going to enjoy the process. And I'm so glad that you guys are like in agreement that that's the right idea, because a lot of our friends and family, and I get it, it comes from a place of love. They're just so excited for the wedding. They're like, no, try and get it for next year, try and see if you can do it for next year. We're like, no, we just want to enjoy the process, like leave us be. And you guys seem to be in agreement that that is the best decision. So yeah, thank you for all of your love. But this dress is to try and wean myself away from wearing white. So we've gone all black. I feel like this is very typical Ellie styling. You know, I love black even in spring, summer. It's this really gorgeous little like new look dress. It's like a full length. I have no shoes on at the moment because my Fairfax and Favours are downstairs by the back door ready to be worn as my gardening shoes. But yeah, it's like the cutest little kind of like maxi number. I really, really love the way that it like fits. Love the length of it. It's like just on my ankle, which I find super flattering because it means you can show off your shoes. And my favourite thing is the like neckline and the puff sleeves. I'm not really wearing the right bra with this, I'm not gonna lie, but you know when you put a bra on and then afterwards you're like, I really can't be bothered to change, so we're just gonna have to keep tucking this in. So if it shows, I do apologise. You guys need to be on bra watch for me. It's just the prettiest little spring dress and also a great gardening dress, and seeing as though this might be the last day of sun we have for a little while, I really want to get back out in the garden today. And I don't think you can blame me for wanting a day in the garden today when the weather is looking like this. I mean, look at the sunshine coming through. It just makes me so happy. I've actually already been out this morning just to set up a few bits out in the garden. We have some updates that I need to show you actually, because I mentioned the other day that we got out our garden furniture and we also have some new garden furniture. So let's head outside, put my new Fairfax and Favour shoes on, which I'm loving leaving them out here. We also have this Fortnum & Mason basket, which is where I keep the other shoes. So it's really handy that you can just chuck your Crocs in there and not have to worry about it. But this is currently what the garden is looking like. Oh my God, look at the light. Oh my word. Oh my goodness, just look at that sunshine. Oh, it makes me so happy. I feel like it's been such a long time since we've been out in the garden together. Alex and I have both been doing a little bit of gardening ourselves, but it's been a while since I've actually taken you out here. And one thing Alex and I have definitely discovered is just how much everything with regards to a house, I feel like I've learned this ever since we had our own house, especially compared to like a flat, it's just how much everything needs styling. Like even your garden needs styling. And I know that's probably going to sound really silly, and I don't just mean styling in the sense of like putting some pretty flowers in a pot and being done with it, but I do mean like it is literally like another room to your house. And as much as I style up the living room, I style up the office, I style up the bedroom, and like they have themes and they have kind of like colour schemes and things like that. I feel like you need to do the same thing with your garden in order to like really bring it together and make it cohesive. And I feel like I've been really working at that. We've had a bit of a garden glow up recently, which makes me really happy. But I'll talk a little bit more about styling in a minute and you might be able to see exactly what I mean. So let me give you a little bit of a tour. I feel like we haven't had a garden tour in such a long time. I've obviously got my little olive tree who has done so well. I actually left him out here for the entirety of winter. I kept Googling like what to do with olive trees, whether to bring them inside. And there was a lot of like juxtaposing answers and juxtaposing opinions. Some people say to bring it in, to look after them, to feed them. But actually a lot of people basically said that olive trees do better when you just leave them be. Like they are such hardy plants, and we had a very cold winter and he has done absolutely fine. So yeah, really happy. And it's also very windy. Like this part of our garden kind of gets a lot of wind that kind of just like blows straight this way, and he did fine. Like I was really worried about him throughout the storms, but he did absolutely fine. My goodness me, a pigeon just flew straight overhead. I get so scared of bees, honestly. I need to get over my bee fear. I just like freeze whenever they come near. But okay, let me actually give you a tour of the garden because it is looking so beautiful. look at this. Oh, it just makes me so happy. So one of the things we've been really working hard at doing is like zoning the garden, because we obviously, let me come like all the way back here. So we have this big L-shaped patio, which I really like. So these bifold doors open all the way out, which is just my favorite thing to do in summer. And then we've got this kind of like big section here, and then it kind of goes round into an L. So if you remember, a couple of months ago, Alex and I actually oiled the decking, and it looks so much better. I don't know if I still have my before and after photos of it, but it's just so much like nicer in colour, and it just looks revitalised. And it's clearly never been oiled since it was put down, because most people were saying to us like, oh, you won't need more than 1 tin. We went through 2 and a bit tins of oil. Like, it just drank it up, and like normally you kind of splash it out and then you can kind of like brush it with the broom. The second you splashed it, the oil just, the deck just went with the oil, like it soaked it up. So yeah, really loving how that is looking. So anyway, yes, L shape with regards. And then we've obviously got the pergola, which I absolutely love, with the wisteria that is starting to come into bud, so I cannot wait for that to bloom. But this is a table and chair set which we actually got off Facebook Marketplace when we lived back in our old flat, and we've been debating whether to upgrade this for a while. But actually I have a plan for this. We'll go on to that in a minute, but I have a plan, so hold please caller. But this is our new piece of furniture that I'm very excited about. So we were looking at you know, like garden sofas and sets and things like that, and one of the main things like we have in terms of problems is just storage with all of it. So we didn't want anything too big, too opposing or anything like that. And I actually found that Aldi were doing this as a special buy, and this was the literally the last one left in our local store. Like, we drove down as soon as we saw it. It was about 4 o'clock on a Sunday, and Aldi was closing at 5, so we were like, go. It was a half-hour drive. We drove down, literally managed to pick it up there and then, and it was quite funny because the staff were helping us get it into the car. As we were walking to the car, they were like, please tell me you've got a car big enough. And I was like, well, I should hope so. And they saw the Range Rover and they were like, thank God, because apparently they've had so many people where it's actually not fitted and they've had to literally take it back into the store and return it because they just physically can't get it home. But it's this really gorgeous like 3-seater set. It kind of is very similar. You can tell we love this like chaise style, because obviously our first sofa had that, our new sofa has that, and now our outdoor sofa has it. But I really like it. This is actually also a footstool. It also comes with a cushion, but I quite like the fact that you can use it as a footstool or you can use it as a table. So I actually kind of prefer it without the cushion on it, but that's just personal preference. But it's a really gorgeous like dark grey colour, or like mid-wash. I feel like it looks a bit plain for now, and I definitely want to star this up a little bit more and maybe add a few like of our own touches to it. One thing I could do is add the other Zara home cushions to it, is a potential option. So we'll see how we kind of like get on with it. I definitely want to have a feel. I think it's one of those, again, another thing I've learned with regards to having a house is that you just want to take your time with things, just like we want to do with the engagement. Having a house you want to take your time with, because there's nothing worse than buying something, spending money on something, and then actually finding that like it doesn't work, or like it doesn't fit, or you could have done it better. So we're going to sit with it, see how it is, and then I can maybe replace the cushions, add covers. We could even put our sheepskin on it that we got from the Isle of Skye. That might be really nice, because sheepskins are great at keeping you warm. So yeah, love how this is looking. And then we've kind of like zoned it a little bit. So this is basically like the chill out zone. This is the eating zone, and then this I would say is more like a cup of coffee zone. Now I'm not entirely sure whether to bring these chairs around and do like a big section, but I quite like them sitting by themselves, and it's quite nice because they're really lightweight. You can move them about and like change it up depending on how many guests we've got around, whether we've got like the garden party and family and friends and things like that. I'm definitely going to have to move these pots about because me and Alex both agree that they're like kind of in the way now, so I want to like spread them around. I'm not entirely sure why, but this ranuncular pot is doing so well. Like, look at these, they are just absolutely beautiful, loving life, doing really great. This one over the last couple of days has suddenly just decided, nah, I'm giving up, I'm not enjoying life. And they have the exact same soil, they've both been here, so like they're getting the same amount of light, same amount of watering. I'm not entirely sure why, so I think I might cut back the dead heads and see if it kind of like gives it a chance for new ones to grow through. But my vintage roses are doing well, and then my rhododendron died back the second I got it, and a couple of you commented on the fact that I used the wrong soil, so I bought that like acidic feeder. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but a few of you suggest like an acidic feeder. Fed it with that, and it has these new shoots which are coming through, so I'm hoping it's going to reflower again for summer. So hopefully that will look beautiful, but I definitely want to move these about. Unfortunately they're a bit heavy for me now, so I need Alex's help to do that, and we usually have to wait till the weekend, so we might this weekend have another little play about, although as I said, I think think it's thunder and lightning this weekend, so we shall see. But these two chairs over here, again, these are another pair of chairs we got off Facebook Marketplace. I think they're originally from the range, and they came with, like, I'm not gonna lie, the ugliest grey cushions you've ever seen in your life, and I really didn't like them. But last summer I was like, I'm just gonna leave it, just gonna see how it goes, and, like, you know, just use them as is, and then I can look for this summer. And I'm so glad I did, because I love how these Zara cushions look on them. I just think they are so gorgeous. I've not, like, tied them up properly, so you can obviously see that I've still got labels on them, the string is still attached, but I just love the, like, green velvet ties and, like, piping. I think it's so beautiful. So as I said, because I did buy 4 sets of everything, so 4 of these top pillows, 4 of these bottom pillows, I might be able to make something work with this one over here. So I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, for now I'm just leaving it like this. And then I do want to get a new bistro table, because I didn't like the table that these came with. It used to, like, collect so much water, and then it would just get a bit moldy and it would get a bit gross. So I'm gonna look for a new little, like, bistro table. I do actually have a marble one I could bring out, but it's not very sturdy, so it's the kind that I'll have to take in and out of the house. But that could be an option. But I really like that. I feel like it's just a nice little coffee corner, and then obviously as you're sitting, you just get this lovely view. And especially when my my gorgeous blue bush comes into flower, it's just such a gorgeous view. And then of course you've got your the wisteria climbing over you, which I've worked really hard to make sure that it climbs this way, because I think I mentioned quite a few times it kept going towards the house. So I've really worked hard at, like, threading it through the pergola and making sure that it kind of, like, comes around. It's quite late blooming this year, but I'm really hoping it's okay, because obviously I gave it a lot of hacking, I did a lot of work to it, so I'm hoping it's still going to flower this year. But then in this corner, now I'm not entirely sure if this is going to stay here, we're undecided. We've put it here initially because Alex decided he wanted this corner over here to be the barbecue area, because that's where it was last year, but we're not sure if this works here. I feel like it just kind of looks a bit odd, and it looks a bit like standalone, and also doesn't get a lot of light here. Like, this gets light first thing in the morning, but then come about, like, 9 o'clock, as you can see, it's literally gone, and then for the rest of the day there's no sunshine on it. But the problem is I've got the soil in it now, and I've got my seedlings that I have sown. Oh my goodness, something's coming up. Oh, that is really exciting. But because it's now full of soil, I can't lift it, and it takes a lot of strength to be able to move it. So we might put this back over in the corner where I initially planned on having it, but we shall see. We have a lot to kind of, like, work on with regards to the garden, and then what Alex could do is use this as the barbecue corner. And then it also means that you don't get, like, the smoke in people's faces when they're eating, because sometimes if the wind is blowing this way, the smoke goes into people's faces. So it's just a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. But yeah, this is, like, one of my favourite views whenever this bush comes into bloom, although I'm not gonna lie, these are not looking healthy at the moment. We're not entirely sure why, but they have just died. I'm not mad about it, because I don't like them, but apparently they are so difficult to dig up, so I might just leave them, see if they come back to life. Our hydrangea bush looks like it's doing really well, looks like it's going to flower this summer again. And then we've got the lavender that I planted as well, so I'm excited for this to kind of, like, start blooming as well, and for the border to kind of, like, come back, because I do really like our border. I think it's really nice. It's quite simple, but a lovely border. I've just noticed, I've just seen a pop of colour in the corner here. We've also got a couple of trees back here. This is a red robin, which I really like, and some bamboo. Oh my goodness, are these bluebells? I don't think I planted these. I think these have come up by themselves. I planted a few things around this border which all seem to be starting to come up, so I'm really excited to see what these are. But nothing else seems to be blooming just yet, but we have some bluebells. I didn't realise this. This was also a fern bush that I cut back. And again, it's not looking very good, so I'm just hoping, I'm just praying. Everyone keeps saying that, like, in the winter everything looks dead, and then you get surprised in the summer because it all just springs back to life. But yeah, I'm loving how the garden is looking at the moment. Let's have a little sit down and a chat, because as I said, I feel like everything requires a lot more styling than you initially think, and that's, like, the difference from going from, like, just nice, practical to, like, elevated styling and, like, looking like the home that you want it to. So I think the big thing really has been those little finishing touches, like the cushions. As I said, the grey cushions on those chairs were so ugly, to the point where I almost got rid of the chairs, because I said to Alex, they're just hideous, like, I really don't like them. And he was the one that suggested maybe, like, there's a few different options that we can do. We could cover them, and as soon as he said we could cover them, I was like, oh, I could look at just replacing the cushions. Like, let's see what I can do. And I'm so glad that I found those Zara Home ones, because I think they are absolutely beautiful. And one of the things that I want to do with the table over there is basically cushion it up. That is my kind of plan of action. The tabletop and, like, the chairs and everything like that. They're so comfortable, they're so practical, like they're really, really great. The tabletop actually has like a little hole. Sorry, you can hear, I think the drain is like making noise. I think I've got the washing machine on inside. I don't know why it's making noise. I don't know if you can hear it. But yeah, it's got like a little hole so you can even put like the parasol in it, and then you don't worry about it like flowing away. Parasol's green as well, following the theme. But yeah, I feel like with regards to that table, I think it's going to make such a difference just finding some chair. Goodness me, where has that wind come from? So yeah, I'm thinking about getting just some like cushions that can go on that one as well, because I feel like it really will just complete the look with regards to the garden. I feel like it will bring like the entire theme in together, the entire kind of like colour scheme. If I could find some maybe like upright seat cushion covers in like a green and white stripe, anything that would maybe be similar to my Zara home ones that could match that, I think would be so, so lovely. So I've been having a little look online, but it does seem to be a little bit of a problem because most places only do seat cushions and like outdoor cushions for lounge chairs or like sofas like this. So upright seats seem to be a little bit tricky to find. So if anyone knows of any like good outdoor gardening home brands or anything like that, help a girl out, let me know, because I am on the hunt and I just think it would really, really complete the garden and just like bring all of the styling in together. And then I'm definitely going to do a few more like potted plants, I think, and like dot them about and just really like fill the space. I'm definitely, I wouldn't say I'm a maximalist, but I do feel like clutter creates a home. And I do love just having stuff everywhere, and I do feel like it just makes it so much cozier, so much homelier, and I feel like I'm wanting to do that with regards to the garden glow up. So I feel like we're halfway through the glow up, we are getting there, it's looking really, really good. Also can't believe what a difference we made to the lawn. If you remember when we moved in, it was literally just like a mud pile, an absolute mud pile, and look at it now. It's green, it's turfed, it's beautiful. It makes me so, so happy. And I really like the fact that in our garden, like, there's quite a lot of more mature plants, so it's really nice to see those coming into their own. Obviously the bush, the wisteria, like things that obviously if we planted last year, they would not, like, barely be showing right now. Like my lavender is going to be very, very small this year. But it's been so nice just making like a bit of a project out of the garden. And as I said, we've been taking our time with it. We've been really kind of like nitpicking with things because I just want to make sure that we get it right, and I cannot wait for the height of summer when I'm sitting out on this sofa enjoying a cup of coffee, I'm basking in the sunshine, I'm reading, I'm working. Like, this is exactly everything that we dreamed of. I remember when we used to live in our flats and we would try and sit out on our balcony because we were on like the 4th floor and like there was no one in front of us. It was so windy and cold, like even if it was 30 degrees you could barely sit out on the balcony because it would always get so, so cold. And we used to say to each other like, oh, just wait, we've got our own house and we've got our own garden and we can sit out and enjoy it. And that is exactly now what we have, so I really am pinching myself. Oh my god, is it just me or do I look really flushed? I've actually just been sitting out all afternoon in the sunshine, and it's like the first day of the year that I have been able to do that, which is so, so exciting. I've just put on my little Bowden cashmere cardigan because it was a little bit chilly outside. Like, I did get a little bit cold, but especially when the sun is on you, oh my goodness me, I was just basking in it, basking in it. I feel like it's been such a long time since I've soaked up some actual vitamin D. I haven't taken those vitamin D tablets that I unboxed in my wedding planning life updates vlog. I've been taking those every day. Don't know if I'm noticing any difference, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I definitely notice a difference from my mood and like how I'm feeling, and also how my skin's looking from just spending an afternoon basking in the sunshine. It's been so, so lovely, but it's starting to get quite chilly now. It's going to be setting soon and I want to get my makeup off and get into my comfies. And I actually just had a delivery, which is kind of going to be perfect with regards to taking my makeup off and getting into my comfies. And this is from Pixie. It is their in-shower steam facial. Oh my goodness. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm someone who loves a shower pamper. Like, I really enjoy showering. I don't understand people that don't like showering. Like, even washing my hair, the actual process of washing it I like. It's the drying it, the styling it, that's what kind of takes the time. But I love, of an evening, getting into the shower, having like a really lovely like bougie shower, doing all the kind of like scrubbing and shaving and tanning and washing, and oh, I just absolutely love it. So this sounds like it's going to be an absolute dream for me. So it's the in-shower steam facial. That is such a mouthful to say when you're dyslexic. This multitasking self-heating mask transforms your shower into your own pixie perfect home spa. Infused with vegan acacia, acacia, no idea. No idea. Acecia, collagen, sage, peptides, and lavender to perfectly cleanse, nourish, and plump fine lines. I'm not gonna lie, lavender is one of my favourite things when it comes to like baths and showers and everything like that. So I'm really, really excited to try this. I want to see if I can smell it because I think it's gonna smell amazing. Oh my goodness, that's probably the most unladylike noise I've ever made, but that smells incredible. It smells absolutely incredible. And it even comes with like a little hot cloth cleanser that you can use with it. So I think I might have to give this a try tonight because it sounds like an absolute dream, especially after a day of being outside. I just want to get in the shower and get myself clean, get into my PJs and have a lovely evening on the sofa. So I'm going to leave this vlog here. I hope you have loved all of the home updates. I feel like there's been so much to show you, so many changes that have been happening, and that always makes me so happy. So if you got to the end of this video, leave me the word shower down below in your comment, and then I know that you got to the end, and everyone that's not got to the end is gonna be really confused, like why is everyone commenting the word shower down below. So leave me the word shower in your comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.